In 1994, Jeff Bezos started a company called Relentless out of his parents' life savings of $250,000. He began Relentless in his garage, but his friends told him that the name Relentless sounded too evil, so he changed it to Amazon.
Washington, D.C. filed an antitrust case against Amazon's.
We work like a dog there,
claiming Amazon has violated antitrust laws.
Amazon is dark. It is not only dark, but it is quite dangerous. Let me tell you why. Whether you are binge watching your favorite show on Netflix, ordering food from one of your favorite food apps, or planning a date with your significant other, you are constantly being monitored. Amazon knows everything. The real question is not why it is dark, but how is it dark? Well, if you take a step back, then you would realize that Amazon is not only an e-commerce store. The truth is that Amazon is a multinational, multi-billion technology company that now controls 75% of the internet. Now you may be wondering, how is this even possible? Because on face value, we see Amazon as this mega e-commerce store with distribution centers distributing our favorite products within a day to us. So, how on earth am I claiming that Amazon is a technology company that controls the majority of the internet? To comprehend and understand this, we must first understand who Jeff Bezos is and the history of Amazon and the company's origins. Before I begin the story, I would appreciate if you would subscribe to Alphause, where you will find more brand and business stories, case studies, insights, and resources just like this one. Especially if you are an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, a content creator, a small or medium business owner, a student, or anyone who is hustling or dreaming, then you have hit home, because we cover free and new business content specifically for you all. After you have subscribed, please comment below "I subscribed," and I will personally go ahead and comment on those ones. Also, do not forget to hit the bell icon, because you will instantly be notified whenever a new episode comes out. Now, returning to the history of this company Amazon, which was founded by Jeff Bezos in the year 1994. He started out by selling books, even though that wasn't what they were meant to do. These books were chosen because they were the easiest way to get started with e-commerce at that time, plus the margin on books was quite high. Gradually, Amazon dissected into other products and they started growing. During the dot-com bubble in 2001, it looked like many other companies, Amazon would also go down, but apparently it survived. Not only that, but it also thrived. The twist in the story comes back in 2006. AWS, or Amazon Web Services, were introduced to individuals, businesses, and even governments. As of today, Amazon owns a major chunk of the internet. The big question now is how Amazon does it all. To understand this, we need to understand what AWS is. AWS, or Amazon Web Services, is one of the prime subsidiaries of Amazon, which provides on-demand cloud computing platforms and APIs to individuals, businesses, and governments. So technically, Amazon provides leveraged infrastructure. It rents out cloud computing servers to other companies, giving them an infrastructure advantage. The number of companies that use this service is phenomenal and accounts for a major chunk of the websites on the internet leveraging AWS as their infrastructure. Well, the question is then, how come it's so risky as a matter of fact? So let us try to understand the methodology and how all of this works. In short, all of these companies rely on Amazon's data centers and cloud computing to store all their business data. Why do these businesses choose AWS when they have other options available like Azure and Google Cloud? The answer to this question is scalability and agility. So if a business needs extra space for storage, it can leverage AWS, which charges on usage basis. So if a startup needs less storage, it can pick a plan which matches its needs, and if they want to expand its requirement, it can quickly do so. AWS as a service becomes really agile for startups and businesses that use AWS for their infrastructure leverage. Because of this model, The overall cost of maintaining a technological infrastructure is reduced to dramatic levels, and this is one of the prime reasons a lot of businesses rely on AWS. As I mentioned earlier, the amount of content and data that is created is doubling every 2 years. Be it an individual, a business, or even the government, data and content is created at an unprecedented rate. The production of data is skyrocketing upwards as a result of advancements in technology and connectivity, flooding businesses with an overwhelming amount of fresh information that is rich in insights. It is anticipated that this data will double every 2 years for the next decade, reaching 55,000 exabytes in the year 2023. And when it comes to storing this data, AWS comes into the picture. Who would be storing as well as controlling this data? You might have heard that this is a data economy, and this is one of the ways Amazon would be able to control businesses and individuals. Not only that, it could even control government, as the US government's data is also stored in AWS. Now, if you take a step back and look closely, you would realize that Amazon has built a monopolistic ecosystem. Well, a monopolistic ecosystem is different from a monopoly. For instance, the FTC charged Facebook for being a monopoly in the social media space, as Facebook bluntly acquired its competitors like Instagram back in 2012 and WhatsApp back in 2014. This is monopoly. Yet, Amazon went a step further and established a monopolistic ecosystem where the entire business ecosystem is controlled by them. This is beyond monopoly. How is that Amazon is able to accomplish everything that they do? Let's dive in and understand this once and for all. So when businesses sell their products on Amazon.com, there is a number of data sets that are produced. Based on this type of data, Amazon is aware of various consumer trends and patterns. Amazon goes ahead and finds manufacturers of these best-selling products or finds alternate manufacturers who produce these products, and Amazon sells them under its own brand, which is Amazon Basics, at a much cheaper price and promote them at the top of the Amazon page for higher visibility. I'm sure you are already aware of this, but this is just a part of the story. Amazon is playing at a much larger level than this. The true game of Amazon is undercut and the snowball effect. Now, you might be wondering what these are and how they actually work. Well, in 2009, there was this organization called Quidsi, which was headquartered in New Jersey, United States. Quidsi handled 3 e-commerce businesses, including soaps.com, beautybars.com, and diapers.com. At that time, Quidsi was the market leader in baby care products, holding the highest market share, even more than Amazon. Quidsi outperformed Amazon, and it was hard for Amazon to accept this defeat as any big business would. It tried to acquire Quidsi and merge it into itself. Well, Quidsi put up some of a fight and denied being acquired. Amazon then tried a unique strategy where it reduced the price of baby care products by 40% on its website. To hit the last nail in the coffin, it also created a subscription for baby care products. This costed Amazon more than $100 million every quarter, and Amazon took this hit for 2 long years. What was the reason? Well, first to acquire all of Quidsi's clients on the proposition of price, and also to cripple Quidsi in such a way that they give up the competition in the baby care industry. Quidsi was bleeding because of this notorious strategy that Amazon implemented, and now it was open for grabs. Both Walmart and Amazon bid for Quidsi at the time, and Walmart won the bid. Amazon representatives met the Quidsi founders and warned them that selling the company to Walmart would result in further price cuts of up to 75% for baby care products, which would be disastrous for the startup as they will be obsolete in some time. Consequently, Quidsi was compelled to sell their company to Amazon. Another thing that Amazon does is the snowball effect, which begins with the locking of the customer via the Prime membership. So, during the inception of Prime in its initial days, Amazon took a huge hit when it sold the membership for a very minimal amount per month. Amazon did this for almost 2 years and took a hit. Now, you might be wondering why a company would take a hit, and the answer is that Amazon will go that extra mile to keep you and me inside their ecosystem. So, if you observe closely, then you will realize the same thing happened when the Amazon Kindle was launched. This sold the Kindle devices at a loss because their aim was to have the readers inside the ecosystem. They targeted and captured all the readers as they also employed digital rights management. So technically, no one else can sell those ebooks other than Amazon Kindle. So Amazon was actually dominating the ebook industry, controlling 83% of the market share. If you again observe very carefully, you will see that something very similar is happening right now, which is Amazon Alexa. Amazon Alexa is sold at a break even, so the customer can enter the ecosystem of Amazon again. All of these three examples, Amazon Prime, Amazon Kindle, and Amazon Alexa, shows that how Amazon imperatively puts its goals for the customers to enter their Amazon ecosystem. In fact, Alexa is able to hear all your commands and store it on the Amazon cloud servers, which are again used for customer profiling, and you are shown ads and products which you are most likely to buy consciously or subconsciously. So technically, Amazon knows more about you than your most near and dear ones. It has a straightforward way of getting consumers like you and me into their ecosystem, which happens through Prime membership or Alexa or Amazon Kindle. You get the idea. After that, the data is collected and that is used to enhance the customer profiling. Then you and me are again targeted and retargeted with the product you and I are most likely to buy based on our personal likes, dislikes, behaviors, and patterns. This vicious cycle of Amazon is deadly, and regardless of whether you agree or not, you are being heard and tracked all the time. Companies like Amazon, Apple, Google, Netflix, Spotify, Uber, and many others leverage data to advertise better and push their products, services, and solutions. In today's economy, information is king, and that's what these big companies are doing to make their leverage. Yet, the story is not finished yet. We still have some grounds to cover for you to get a bird's eye view of the Amazon business model and what you can learn from this to implement in your own business or startup. UPS and FedEx are the two largest logistic companies worldwide. Amazon leverages them too by acquiring their customers and clients. Now you might be wondering how. During its early days, Amazon used UPS and FedEx to deliver its products in bulk and was offered a phenomenal discount of more than 50%. Now ideally, when FedEx and UPS gave such a huge discount to Amazon, it was quite evident that they have to cover these costs with other businesses and individuals. Now soon after, Amazon introduced a service called Fulfillment by Amazon, which took care of everything logistically. They also launched their own logistic division and introduced Prime Air. Later, people who used UPS and FedEx switched to Amazon. Now if you are wondering how that happened, as a result of Amazon's entry into the fulfillment business, shipping costs went up for customers who had previously relied on companies like UPS and FedEx for their delivery needs. Amazon was able to offer much cheaper shipping rates thanks to its own fulfillment center, while UPS was historically charging more. This caused everyone to switch from UPS and FedEx logistic to using Amazon Fulfillment and Prime Air. Therefore, Amazon acquired the clients of these two large logistic companies. Now, if we take a step back and try to observe this, what exactly Amazon capitalizes on? The one-word answer is vulnerability. As humans, you and I are vulnerable, and Amazon banks on that. Amazon exploits and takes advantage of our frailty by inducing and incorporating impulsive buying behavior. Human psychology predicts that if we see a product whose utility value is high and the cost attached to it is lower than what we perceive, we are most likely to buy it. Amazon leverages human psychology and does two things. Firstly, it recommends cheaper products, and secondly, it creates a sense of scarcity. So whenever you search for a product on Amazon, then you would get results that have high utility but the cost associated is relatively low, and we tend to go ahead and purchase it. Amazon also recommends similar products, and also people who have also bought features that overall increases the cart size of the consumer. The other element is the sense of scarcity. Now you might have come across this element while shopping on Amazon, where it says only one stock is left or only two stocks are left. Well, this is another concept of human psychology. The utility value of the product increases to a new level when we realize that firstly it's cheap and secondly it's scarce. So what do? We go ahead and buy it instantly without delaying our purchasing decision. In this way, Amazon exploits the vulnerability of its customers through its system. Why haven't antitrust laws taken action when it is so dangerous and has so many negative effects? The answer is how Amazon pays its taxes. If you examine Amazon tax bill, you will notice that the company pays almost no taxes. Why? Because Amazon makes almost no money on paper. Amazon benefits in two ways from this. Firstly, since their profit is so small, antitrust regulations cannot take action against them because Amazon simply states that we are not making enough profit. On paper at least, all of Amazon's profits are reinvested in the expansion of the businesses and are accounted for as expenses. Amazon cannot be affected by antitrust laws because it makes no profit and is not a high profit corporation, although it's making billions, as you and I know. The second benefit is that Amazon pays almost no tax since there is no profit on paper. And by doing this, Amazon avoids antitrust regulations and restriction in a very smart way and continues to build its monopolistic ecosystem. I have also covered another crucial video on the evil and dark business model of Amazon in a bit more detail. Do check it out after this one. I'll link it up above in the I button and also in the description. Please like this video to make the YouTube algorithm gods happy. Also, please subscribe to Alphause for brand and business stories, case studies, insights, and related resources. Especially if you are an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, a content creator, a small or medium company owner, a student, or anybody who is hustling or dreaming, you are in the right place since we cover free and new business content just for you all. So click the bell icon so that whenever a new story is published, you are aware about that. Here is a playlist of all the business case studies as well as a different episode on the dark and evil business model of Amazon. Please check it out. This is Anush from Alphause. I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, peace out.